Hello everyone, my name's Eric, and good thing to follow the Christian. I'm Jewish, and the emphasis is on the ish, because after 30 years of being a practicing Jew, it dawned on me that if I'm going to practice something for 30 years and not get it, I need to move on. It's just not working. And I also thought, just the Bible stories, they just never made sense to me. I never believed them. Take, for example, so the Jews were freed from Egypt and they wandered the desert for 40 years. 40 years, and not once did Mrs. M turn to her husband and say, would you pull a damn camel over and ask for directions? I mean, come on. So, and also I have to say that there's no way that my relatives, not my relatives, wandered that sandy, filthy desert for 40 years. They spent the first night in some filthy Bedouin motel, and the next day they hopped on some ark and sailed right to Florida. And bought a 2-bedroom condo facing the water. It was 2,000 years ago. Real estate was a lot cheaper then. So I thought to myself, if I'm not going to practice Judaism, let me try something else. So what about Christianity? And then I thought, Christians, they do the whole communion, and I just not for me. I can't do that. Number one, I'm trying to cut back on the carbs, and if I'm going to go to church every Sunday and take the wafer, I'm certainly going to pack on the pounds, and that's not going to happen. And the wafer is the body of Christ, and I don't eat meat, so that's not going to work. And I thought, body of Christ, that's a little bit weird. Is that like the other white meat? I don't know. So my parents are Jewish, yeah, so they're older. They're in the promised land right now, not heaven, Florida. And they live in an over 55 community down there. It's an active over 55 community, which means sexually transmitted diseases. And I don't know about you, but the idea of old people having sex is just, I don't want to imagine it. The idea, I don't want to hear an old lady tell me she's coming unless she's headed my way with some cookies, because I'm not doing that again. But the whole idea, so sexually transmitted diseases, I kind of get it with older people. They're not thinking about condoms. They're not thinking about getting pregnant, right? You give an old man a box of condoms, I guarantee you in 10 minutes, he's passing out balloon animals. You want to see the poodle I made? It's got this pointy thing on its nose. Doctor says it's cancer. Only an old man would have a balloon animal with cancer. But they have activities. It really is active. You can do anything you want down there. Play softball, do yoga, and it's all adapted for the older people. So with yoga, you can stand, you can sit, downward facing dog, almost dead dog. Betty's on the ground, she's halfway there. Can't be too hard. So I thought, this is a captive audience, and there's a lot of money to be made. And I want to be the one to make the money. So I came up with this idea. That life alert button, and I've fallen and I can't get up? My thought is, press the button and it delivers Cialis or Viagra. So I've fallen and I can't get it up. Press the button, he doesn't have a problem anymore. Between the button and his new hips, he could go for hours. But I'm not a big fan of Florida. I like Austin. But the thing I don't get about Austin is, why don't we pronounce things correctly? Right? Burnett Road is Burnett. Bowie High School is Bowie. And my favorite is Manchaca is Manchac. Manchac's not a street, it's a gay bar. I just don't get it. But and then also being Jewish, when I first moved here, I thought it's a little anti-Semitic, right? You look around, all the supermarkets are called Eve. I didn't get that. And then the local elementary school is Kiker. I thought, what's next? Where's Adolf Hitler High? Thanks a lot, I'm Eric.
Eric Slater, everybody.